Welcome to Be Great. Today's guest is Marc Saltzman, but what we're going to do today is we're going to break the segment into two parts. Marc just got back from the Apple Fall event that you reviewed all the new Apple products, so we thought we'd give you guys a heads up on the new Apple phones, the iPod, and the Apple Watch. So that will come out in the next day or so, and then in a couple of weeks, the full segment where we talk about all sorts of other shit. The new Apple products, what do you think?
Yeah. First of all, thanks for having me.
My pleasure,
It's really cool to be here. So I was at the Apple event. Apple called it this year awe-inspiring. And I think that was a nod to their new iPhone Air, which is a new form factor. So, of course, they launched and we'll get to it, the iPhone 17, the iPhone 17 Pro, and the Pro Max, the larger, more photo-centric
That's the one I use.
Yeah, me too. But the iPhone Air is for those who don't want to carry something so big and heavy. They like design because it's 5.6 millimeters thin.
Thin as fuck.
Yeah, I showed it to you. It's really thin. It's super durable. Instead of aluminum, which is what they use for the other iPhones, it's titanium.
Okay.
And they also have this proprietary anti-scratch material on the front and back for the first time called Ceramic Shield.
Is that on the other phones as well?
Yeah, it is, but they not on the back. It's on the front.
Okay.
Ceramic Shield 2, which is said to be 3 times as scratch resistant, but on the iPhone Air, just because they really got to make sure this is durable. Because that's the first thing, I'm not going to keep that in my back pocket in my jeans. They had to address the durability, right? And we went to a lab the next day, the day after the event, where Tim Cook takes the stage and you get to see the products with these like really polished videos, and then you get hands-on with them. But the next day we went to a lab where they do all their testing, and it's right in the heart of Cupertino there, their Apple Park. Looks like a spaceship. If you've ever seen what their headquarters looks like, it's pretty sweet.
Nice.
But yeah, they just wanted to show us all the testing they do. So, there's going to be someone on YouTube this month that's going to bend it and break it just to show that they can, just for clicks.
Always some dick.
Yeah. But they know that there's a lot at stake here. Mm-hmm. So that was really cool. The iPhone Air. For me though, I like taking photos. And so the camera isn't as good, the rear-facing camera on the iPhone Air. This is a bit of a sacrifice there, a bit of a trade-off. Mm-hmm. It's one lens. They use some AI to simulate zoom and things like that. But if you take your photography or videography seriously, you're going to want the Pro or Pro Max. It's a new uni-body design. Forget who cares about the new colors because you're just going to put a case on it.
But I dig the orange.
Yeah, it's actually pretty sweet.
Yep.
But the rear cameras, so there's 3 of them, a regular telephoto and ultra wide angle, each now at 48 megapixels. So a lot more detail, a lot better zoom capabilities, wide angle capabilities, better light performance. And then on the front facing camera, including the Air, by the way, it's a new 18 megapixel camera. So for those who like to take selfies or you're doing a FaceTime call, a lot more pixels or dots to make up the image.
Okay,
you're a photographer. I don't mean to explain that to you.
Dude.
You're like, don't you know who I am? But just assuming if all the viewers aren't super into photography, it's just, more detail. And then there's a new square shaped sensor on the front facing camera, which does neat things like you don't have to rotate the camera now to go from portrait to landscape view.
Amazing.
From vertical to horizontal. It'll now actually detect with AI that you may have some buddies on each side of you, so the camera will pull back to get everybody in frame and keep you in frame too, by the way, that center stage technology.
Will it shoot it as a landscape photo though?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, it's optional, or you can let the AI do it. Yeah. But yeah, it'll actually flip it without you having to flip it, which is not only uncomfortable for your fans, your viewers who have done this, but you also have to know then to look at the camera on the left side, like if you're holding, you know what I mean? Whereas now you can just hold it vertically, which is more comfortable, and you're going to be looking more right at the lens. So a couple neat things there. Nice. So across the board, Apple did some stuff with durability on the iPhones, better cameras as you would expect, better battery life, including the iPhone Air, 27 hours of video playback on something that's just a couple of credit cards thin is pretty remarkable from an engineering standpoint. And then, let's shift gears and talk Apple Watch. So just like there were 3 new iPhone 17s, there are 3 new Apple Watches. The regular or flagship watch is the Apple Watch Series 11. Okay. Then there's the larger, more outdoorsy Apple Watch Ultra 3. Okay. And then the entry-level Apple Watch SE 3 or special edition. Okay. So just some fewer bells and whistles, but still pretty impressive.
So which one is the best on the watch?
Well, I would say if you don't want that big super bright, outdoorsy, rugged watch, the Series 11 would be the flagship one.
Okay.
But that costs like 400 Canadian compared to, or 500 rather. It's twice that for the Ultra 3. Yeah,
really?
It's 1,000 and change.
What are these differences?
Yeah, so again, one is super durable, very bright, like 3,000 nits, so you can see it in bright sunlight. Really long battery life. But even on the Series 11, they're making it now a 24-hour battery for the first time in 11 years. So it used to be at most 18. So now it's truly an all-day watch.
Okay.
And with that comes a new sleep score feature, so it'll better analyze your sleep, which they've been able to do a little bit with like apnea detection and things like that. They're also adding, speaking of monitoring, for the first time, hypertension monitoring.
That's amazing.
Yeah, so can detect if you wear it for, I think it's a 30-day minimum.
Oh, wow.
High blood pressure. Well, they want to do it. It's not like you're wearing it for one day and they're going to assess you, which you should also, anyways, double check with your doctor. Anyways, but you could share that information via the health app on your iPhone, which it's going to talk to. But there's a sensor underneath the Apple Watch that detects blood pressure. And if it is on the high side, you're clocking higher than 120/80.
Yep.
It's going to let you know, which is really cool because it's to the best of my knowledge, first time that a smartwatch can do that.
Yes.
Yeah. So that's cool.
So my question is that you have to obviously wear the watch at night in bed. That's to me uncomfortable. Like I use this Aura ring.
Yeah.
I wear the watch during the day and then I wear the ring at night.
Yeah, that's a lot of people do that because they charge up their watch while they're sleeping,
Exactly.
and they don't want the feeling of something on their wrist as well. Yeah,
Yes.
Aura ring's great, by the way. As is the Galaxy ring if you're a Samsung user. And Apple has yet to launch a ring, if they are at all.
Yeah, I'm surprised they haven't approached that yet.
Yeah, there were some rumors that they were going to show their first foldable phone this fall.
That's what I heard too.
Yeah, but they didn't. They, with the exception of the iPad, which I would argue is the first real tablet.
I agree.
They don't need to be first. Like they're okay with not being first. They just want to nail the interface. They want it to be a graceful experience and part of their whole ecosystem. So they'll take their time. What I did like, just to circle back about the Apple Watch Ultra 3, is they now have satellite connectivity. So not just cellular, but if you're off the grid, you're camping, you're glamping, whatever, you can send messages to contacts or to emergency services.
That's
should
amazing
you need
too.
it.
Yeah.
Can you imagine talking to satellites from your wrist 250 miles above the earth?
That's amazing.
It's pretty wild.
Yeah, it is.
And
very, for your safety while you're camping.
Yeah, it's great. I mean, you're probably going to have your phone with you that does that too. But should your phone die or you don't have your phone with you, I think it's pretty cool. And it is built as an outdoor watch. And then the last thing that we saw was the AirPods Pro 3.
Yes.
So their latest version of the AirPods, the world's best-selling earbuds, that are now same price as last year, $329 Canadian or $249 US. And it's sounds way better, more comfortable. They use now foam in the ear tips instead of just silicone. So a tighter fit, which is, and also better. So that's called passive noise cancellation, where it physically blocks your ear canal so you don't hear ambient noise around you. But there's also better ANC, or active noise cancellation, where it introduces an electronic signal to counter any ambient noise that you don't want to hear.
I love my earbuds.
Yeah, they're great.
Yep.
They really are great. And they've nailed the comfort. They're adding smaller tip sizes for the first time and some other things that I found in the box. Better battery life. It's 8 hours of active noise cancellation, which is better than it was before, and then 10 hours of transparency mode for those who want to hear the outdoors, like you're a pedestrian, a cyclist,
which is safe,
or you have hearing impairment. It's like a hearing aid mode. So Apple's added some technology there. And then the last thing,
which is the coolest.
Yeah, live translation.
Dude, you remember back in the days of fucking Star Trek?
Yeah, right.
Like we are living in the future now.
So if you speak another language that I don't, I just press on both ear tips at the base, and it initiates this AI feature.
Yep.
So you can be talking in Spanish or French or what have you, and I will hear it in English in near real time in my ears. Now, for me to speak back to you, it's an app. Like, let's say you're in, I don't know, Istanbul, and you're in a Uber and you're trying to converse with the driver. If you're both wearing these, maybe the odds are a bit slim of that. But if you're both wearing them, or you're sitting down with a potential business colleague, you can actually converse because you're going to hear it.
That is
right?
amazing.
Yeah, it's pretty wild. And it works well. They're going to add more languages. I think there's only 4 or 5 I saw at the beginning, and it downloads it to the iPhone. But yeah, really cool. So across the board.
That is exciting for me.
And one last thing, I guess, on the pricing, just to go back to iPhone 17, with all the tariffs and all the bullshit going on right now, people were bracing for like a $2,000 iPhone, right?
That was the rumor.
Right. But not only are the prices the same as last year, and I don't know how Apple's doing it. I know they started hedging their bets and started manufacturing in India, not just in China, maybe because they knew something like this was coming.
Sure.
But there's still tariffs, especially into the US from India. But they're offering, like for the iPhone 17, it starts with twice the storage as last year for the same price. So it's even better than last year. So it's 256 gigs of storage instead of 128 to start. It's not a lot, but we are streaming more than anything. But you take 4K videos and 8K video, it's gonna fill up fast. So you're gonna want to maybe buy some cloud storage. It goes up to 2 terabytes on the Pro though, which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
So so overall, some years are better than others. Some are kind of like wah wah. But I thought it was a solid showing. Everything is better than what came before it. Do you need to upgrade every year? I tell my friends who are on iPhone, wait every couple of years, so you really can sense the difference.
The iPhone I actually get every year because I'm a fucking whore for that. The watch I wait.
Yeah.
And the earbuds, I didn't really get into earbuds until like the last year or so.
Yeah.
But yeah, dude, when we're done here, I'm gonna go buy fucking the buds, the watch, and the new phone.
Yeah, pretty sweet lineup across the board. You won't be disappointed.
All right, you get a sneak peek of the new Apple shit, and we are going to parlay into the actual podcast now. Check it out, be great, and I'll see you soon.